I don't know how they start. I don't know how to start. I caught myself up in thinking. Too much thinking, in fact. Let's get rid of this. I don't need that.
You wanted to talk about how your boss had...
No, I wanted to talk about the beer. I want to talk about the beer.
That's usually how we start.
That's not how I want to start every podcast. Today, I am drinking Heart City. I don't know if I've done this one before on podcast, but this is Heart City. And I feel like they fucked up on the labeling because Heart City is now off of the logo. It's weird. It's just a little bit off. But whatever, they still make good beer. And it's literally their thing. Makers of very good beer, which they do make very good beer. This is a banana flavored beer for some reason. Not really banana flavored. It's just the hops or the something that's making it give it that slight banana flavor. But it's a nice sweet beer that I thoroughly enjoy.
And they're color coordinated. I like how, because I have the blue one and then mine is blue and then you have the red one and yours is red.
It literally says it's their glasses, right? It says makers of really good beer and it's got their logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
I bought their glasses because I support local industries. I've had small details on this podcast before.
Oh, okay.
It's when we talked about something. Ow. Did you do?
I
Break a nail?
No, I keep peeling. Keep peeling the skin around my nails because of my anxiety in life. So that's why I'm going to put on nail polish, because one of the things that stops me from doing that is putting on nail polish from biting my nails.
Yep. Nail polish.
I wonder why these kind of habits exist, like biting nails, peeling, even why people enjoying popping pimples. There's something there's some, what is it called, instant,
primordial?
Yeah, or some sort of sense of gratification from it, the same way you feel when you put in a puzzle piece, that feeling.
Gratifying.
Yes, it's gratifying.
You put on nail polish.
No, these weird habits that are kind of universal, biting your nails or peeling the skin around your hands, or people will have they'll bite their lips. These are common habits that are universal amongst people.
I'm a fidgety individual, and I always pick
that's what I do.
At the side of my nails constantly.
I get so annoyed with you when you do it, but I peel the skin. It's kind of gross, but yeah, that's what I do. And
yes.
I don't know. I wonder why we have evolved to do those things for release or something.
Release?
Why do we have those habits? Why do we peel? Why do we bite our nails? Why do we bite our lips? Why do we need to play with our hairs?
Anxiety. It's anxiety behavior. It's maybe not just anxiety behavior. It's anxiety calming behavior. It's like you're watching an intense show and something's happening on it and you're curious and you need to find out, but your fight or flight instinct takes over, but you're sitting comfortably on a couch and there's nobody to fight. So you kind of just...
I don't know. Well, smoking kind of is that kind of a habit too. These habits are these behavioral bad habits. I wonder, I don't know. It's just interesting to think about.
Smoking isn't a bad habit because it's...
But it's a very much the behavior of I've noticed that people who are smokers are also the peelers and the fidgeters and the ones who I don't know. I don't know. I just have noticed and people who bite their lips, not in the sexual way, literally, I have a habit that I peel the skin on my chewing on the lips. Clearly, I have lots of anxiety.
Lots and lots of anxiety. One day we'll get to the bottom of where it comes from.
Existing life, the trauma of surviving and being human in this world where anything can happen and you can get hit by a bus or a building can go down or you'll have a tapeworm in your brain randomly or for some reason you'll just have some sort of...
I'm starting to see where your anxiety comes from. You've just been on a binge for the last month of watching doctor shows.
Yeah, I have.
So you you watch doctor shows and you watch all the possible ways you could die from like something mundane, and then you go to work and you read about people with severe, horrible mental illness that will cause their lives to fall apart around them, which can also come on suddenly
And
and
like
out of.
stories of loss and abuse that you can't even imagine. Like this stuff that I read in some of these interviews are like what you'd think of coming out like of like a horror movie. But like the just I don't know. Not like a horror movie, but like just
A Lifetime movie,
yeah.
something
Yeah.
from the Lifetime network,
Yeah.
where bad things happen to people, and then no one knows how to actually deal with it, so they deal with it with drugs and alcohol. Oh, as Lady Bastard suggested, we got coasters. Okay, so shut up now. They're not real coasters. These are old hard drive discs that I pulled out of old hard drives, and I thought they were cool. I didn't want to get rid of them, so we turned them into coasters. Surprising to me when I found out that these things actually shatter and break into pieces if you drop them hard enough, or if you
What things?
these things.
Oh.
They apparently don't bend; they shatter.
Oh.
Which is whatever. But no big deal. They can have a few glasses on them.
Okay. Anyway, so your boss said that they're gonna just stop hiring women. huh?
No, not. Yes. I was talking to my boss after work.
Thanks, feminists. We just went back in time. Well done.
Yeah. So what he's saying, he's been hearing murmurings, talking, in the back rooms, as I'll put it, where people in bigger companies than his, for example, are going to create new policy changes where they are just not going to hire women, and they're just going to absorb the cost and the fines of not having said women in the workforce. They're saying it's too much hassle and too much trouble because,
Why can't they just not hire pain in the ass women
well, you don't know
and
until
not
you
ruin
know.
it for those of us who like can handle it?
But that's the story of life. It's assholes ruin it for everybody.
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. Well, this guy that just got accused on CTV. The guy who's gonna run for the leadership in
yeah.
Ontario, who wanted to replace Kathleen Wynne. Just a few months right before the election happened, a bunch of women came out and said that he had inappropriate sexual relationships with them. And by inappropriate sexual relations with them, one of them said that she's 18, and he kept giving her alcohol and suggesting that they should go back to his room. That was inappropriate sexual allegations. He cried, broke down on screen, and denied it unilaterally. Just outright denied any of it even occurred. Even though it's not that bad. She is an adult, is she not? 18. Although it is illegal for her to be drinking. So I'm going to assume that they were at a bar that he kept feeding her alcohol, not like her sitting in her office and him just keep forcing beer. Him just forcing beer down her throat. So I'm just going to assume she was at a bar already. So I'm going to assume that the presumed notion there is that she was of legal age to be at that bar.
Okay.
But this also happened 10 years ago. And she didn't go to the police or anything because clearly that's her being at the bar illegally. Now she's coming out and saying that he had inappropriate sexual intentions for her. So her and someone else. I don't know what someone else said. I'm going to have to look into it to properly sort the situation out. But yeah, he resigned, and Kathleen Wynne is hoping that she runs unopposed. Another interesting thing that my boss brought up actually while we were talking to her. Did you know that Kathleen Wynne ran certain sections of Ontario Health and bankrupted them? So someone left her in charge of a certain section of Ontario Health, and she literally bankrupted. And then the guy came back, and he refunded the thing, and opened it up again, let her run it again, so she bankrupted it again. Twice she bankrupted a section of the government.
I went like we'll see when is the next election? She's been in power for do they just like not advertise that there's elections so that people don't realize they can vote her out? Because I feel like that's what goes
How long
on
has she
in
been in
Canada.
power?
I don't know, but it feels like it's been more than 4 years.
It's been 4 years. It's literally been 4 years. Do you remember people kept knocking on our door and be like, we would like to thing for Kathleen Wynne? And we just shut the door in their face because we don't care about Kathleen Wynne? Maybe it has been more than 4 years. Maybe she got reelected.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe they kind of like don't make a big deal out of elections to keep themselves in power, so that people are like.
They send you forms to your residential residence.
I haven't gotten any forms.
No, your parents just haven't given you those forms. Your address is still your parents'
Yeah,
house.
I participate in my democratic right to vote.
Okay, so vote for anybody other than Kathleen Wynne.
Right, but I don't know when the next election is because nobody talks about it.
They absolutely talk about it.
I might just like miss it. Like it might just
Or-
happen.
Or it happens on the radio, which you don't listen to, or it happens, or they talk about it on TV, which you don't watch. Where else are you gonna read? Do you
Right.
read? Do you read the news?
I do.
Yeah?
I follow CT Toronto Star, and I follow CBC.
What about the Sun?
Yeah, and the Sun. I spilled on myself. Okay.
You didn't have to tell anybody. No one would have even seen.
Well, now they can see my pajama pants.
Well,
so-
it's not my fault you wore pajama pants.
Now I feel like we can't be serious about this. Is Silerious, whatever.
I don't know what to tell you.
You can't be in pajama pants on Silerious.
I'm wearing sweats.
Oh no! Damn it! I always forget.
That you're wearing nail polish.
Yeah, and then I ruin it. Okay. Anyway.
What do you want from me? Do you want me to put on nail polish for you
no.
and protect your hands from the evil patriarchy?
No, I don't want you to
having
do anything.
Beer on your hands?
When I make a statement, it doesn't necessarily mean that I need or want you to react to it in any way. It's just me making a statement.
We've also talked about this before.
Yes. You're like this is the thing between men and women, where women just enjoy talking
Yes.
and men think that like
Guys, did you
something
know?
has
Guys,
to be done
did you
about
know?
it.
Did you know this is like news? Did you know that women enjoy talking?
Yes, they just want to say things and don't necessarily want something to be done about it.
You hear that? Women just don't want anything done about
Except
it.
for
Just-
when they
just-
do.
They just want you to
and
sit
then you
there.
should know.
And then I should know.
And you should know when something needs to be taken care of.
Things that need taken care of. We need new stuff, and you gotta take out the trash. We need new stuff, but also get rid of the old stuff.
Also, like food.
Yes. Also, like food. I like food.
But anyways,
Does that count? I like food.
so I might miss the last election because no, I follow the Sun too. That's
Do
weird.
you not remember? They like shut down buildings all over the place, and made people go and vote. And I think I asked you if you wanted to go vote last time, which we were living in a new apartment.
That was the federal election,
Mm-hmm.
and we won't talk about that. I'm talking about the provincial election, which
Eh.
is the election that actually matters because those are the policies that actually affect you.
Yes, because Justin Trudeau screwing around with the marijuana situation don't affect me at all. No, I mean that genuinely. They really don't affect me at all.
Hey, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
Because I,
Just federal in Canada is foreign policy mostly.
which also affect me. Because I don't want more foreigners.
Right.
Right. No more foreigners.
But no, foreigners that care to assimilate.
No more foreigners. I need to remember my goal. My goal is to stop immigration. I need it to stop. I need them to stop bringing people in so they can keep getting voted in. Because the moment they stop bringing people in, nobody's going to vote for the fucking liberals. Okay, that's not true.
That's not if. Well, it's not like the conservatives are always that much better. There's no like.
Wait. One section is trying to literally destroy everything that there is.
Destroy everything that there is.
That there is.
Legalizing weed is gonna destroy everything that there is.
We really need
Oh my
to
God,
have that
no,
discussion.
we're not having this
Yeah,
discussion.
you brought
We've
it-
had this discussion already. Now we can't be repetitive. We can't have the same fights. Then it's gonna get boring for
We're not
people. Then we'll just
fighting.
be a bickering
We're
couple.
not fighting. We're not fighting about
But we
marijuana.
will about that, and I don't want to. I want us to let's stay on another topic. But fine. What would be like a policy? I don't even know. Besides drugs and
Bringing more
immigration, what are
refugees
there?
in?
Like education. Okay. I don't even know what a conservative policy on education would be. Like, I guess the sex ed stuff, but we've already thought about that too, so we can't.
It's not sex ed stuff. Is they teach abstinence first, which is fine, and then they also want less school involvement, Because I'm very confused about how the unions are doing it. They're complaining that the teachers are too involved in your lives, but then keep telling you that teachers don't have enough money to do more things with the students. I'm okay if the teachers stop doing things with the students and send them home for them to be with their parents. Can we do that? Can we just send the students home instead of making them stay for an extra 3 hours after school? So to be
No,
taught?
it's usually because the parents have to work, and that's why the kids have to stay.
The kids don't have to stay. The school ends at like 3:30, I think, and then they should go home.
You do go home unless their parents work till 5, and then they stay in after-school programs. School still ends at 3:30. Schools always ended at 3:30. Kids stay there till 5 because their parents are at work and they can't pick them up.
I would come home in grade 3.
How old were you in grade 3?
I don't fucking remember. How old was I in grade 3? How many years? What does that even mean?
Wow.
8? 7? 8.
Yeah.
8. I was 8 years old, and I walked home from school. From school in the winter. I walked home from school to my house, and then I would use a key like a grown-up boy, and occasionally I would even walk with my brother, who was much younger than me.
And you had really shitty parents.
and I would come home, and there would be nobody there.
Yeah.
And I would sit there and wait for somebody to be there.
Yeah, I didn't go to after-school programs because my older sister would come and pick me up and take care of me.
And that didn't change at any point. In fact, the older I got, the less likely my parents were even to drive me to school in the morning.
Okay, but you had shitty parents. In the normal world, parents care about their kids and no.
Okay, but I wasn't the only one. Lots of other kids did that too. They just went home.
So usually it's like up until the ages of I think like 8 or 9, and then after that, kids do go home on their own.
It's like literally illegal for children to be at home by themselves until they're 16.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. I'm not 16.
Is it 13? What age is it? What age is it okay
I think it's 12.
12 is a weird number.
But I don't think it's 12 either.
I think it's either 13 or 15.
I think you can't, if you have to be at least 16 to have someone under the age of
16 because you can babysit. So what happens before that?
You can be alone on your own. But I don't know if can 2 8-year-olds be alone together?
I was at home with my brother. I was 8 and he was 3. 3?
That technically would be
4.
problematic because you would.
I managed to feed him and take care of him.
Okay, but you were obviously like a more mature child. I don't know. We should look into the laws of what you can age.
In fact, his life spiraled out of control the moment I left his life.
But I still think it's healthier for kids to stay at school and keep playing with each other and hang out as opposed to going and sitting at home in an empty house by themselves. What's the point of that?
Who wants to stay at school?
As a parent, I would rather my kids stay at school and do their homework and stay with the other kids, and then I'd go pick them up. Just seems like, why would I want my 8-year-old kid to go home by themselves on their own and then go home to an empty house?
Teach him to make a bowl of cereal, and he's gonna sit in front of the TV whether you're there or not.
Then I'd rather them be at an outdoor activity doing things and still learning.
Okay, an outdoor activity means they can go out and play with their friends until you get home, which they would play with their friends.
Well, usually after-school programs are like that. It's just like playtime. They can do their homework. They can play. They have.
Yeah, but then we're just leaving them with the teachers somewhere.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's not even teachers. It's just supervision. Like they're just supervised by when I was a high school student, I was a volunteer, and there'd be one person who'd have to stay, like a managing teacher, and then I would stay for the after-school parent pickup time. But these were like toddlers, like kids under 5. Okay. No, actually, we had kids up until 6 or 7. So as soon as they get to the 10
years of old age, they start having.
My cousin, we should birth the name, but my little cousin, he's 7. He can't walk home by himself alone. And then go and make it. He's too young. I'm sorry.
Maybe one more year and he'll be.
No, at least until 10. No, he's still.
You don't think he's capable? You really don't think he's capable of walking across the street by himself?
I wouldn't. I'm sure he is, but he could get hit by a car. Some kid no.
So you can hang out on the internet and chat with people online while playing Minecraft. And then
no, I would monitor
okay, but he's clearly playing Minecraft with other people.
Yeah, but I know but it's hard for parents right now, even with technology. There's all these risks, but hopefully we'll be aware parents and we'll understand that when they're playing Minecraft, they're playing it together, literally in the same room.
But also with hero morgues.
Well, then I'll make sure that when they're playing Minecraft, they're playing it in the living room and it's on speaker so I can hear whoever is talking to them. I don't know. There's things you can do. But, like, I'm just saying, when I look at my little cousin, I don't want him walking home. Like, I'd rather him stay at school at an after-school program. And it gives, like, for, like, me, like, it gave opportunity for me to get work experience because I was at high school. I'd volunteer. I'd stay back with one of the other teachers. And then the parents would come until, like, 6:37 sometimes. And the kids, we'd do whatever they wanted. It wasn't like if we'd play, we could we'd put movies on sometimes. Most of actually would be watching like a Disney movie.
So what's the point of the kids even staying at school and they can watch movies at home?
Together. No, because it's still together. They're still being monitored. It's still like a social environment. Why would you want, like, in the world where like loneliness and is becoming an epidemic, you want to like get the kid to be like lonely and
okay. I don't think you can literally use the term loneliness and epidemic like together.
Loneliness is like the number one killer.
Okay, what is an epidemic? Can we just discuss that for a second?
Epidemic is something that is spreading throughout a population. Usually it's referred to as a disease or an illness.
Is loneliness a disease?
Can be.
Or is assholery a disease? Is assholery a disease? Can you be an asshole?
Narcissism is.
Okay, well, clearly we live in a
not a disease. It's an illness. It's a disorder.
Is it a disorder?
Yeah.
Is it an illness?
It's a disorder.
I don't think it is.
It's not biological. It's behavioral.
Okay. So I'm going to say something controversial to a certain degree. We were listening to Joe Rogan earlier today. Mm-hmm. And the girl said that he was interviewing, look at people's photo reel and see what they take photos of, because that says a lot about what they really care about. And the majority of the people's photo reels are filled with selfies.
Yeah, that's what they talked about. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what my photo reel is full of?
The cat.
You, the cat, and me.
You don't take photos of me.
I take more photos of you than you might know.
No, you take photos of the cat
and
like
you and the cat
your
together.
Beer and stuff that you do at work.
Yes,
Those
but
are
also
your
you.
things. You don't take photos of me.
Okay, she's being bitter because I haven't taken enough photos of her, because she believes that my life should revolve a lot more around her.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Literally, you said.
I just think that you should compliment me more and make me feel better.
That's right. That's right. So her photo reel is absolutely filled full of selfies.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
No.
I have photo reels of all sorts of stuff.
Sure. But there's a lot of selfies.
Not actually. You can tell a lot by looking at my Instagram. And most of my Instagram is like of events. Like there'll be some selfies, but usually it'll be like if I'm going to a wedding and I have my hair and makeup done, and then I will take a selfie.
Right.
But most of them, there's people who like all of their Instagram is selfies, where mine is mostly
a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people. People are saying that it's social media that's causing this narcissism. I don't believe it's social media. No. I believe that social media is highlighting people whose main goal is narcissism. Mm-hmm. And not necessarily that everyone's becoming more narcissistic.
No,
because
I agree.
I was actually pointing out that I stayed off of social media throughout the development of social media. And my generation popularized social media. I didn't have a single photo on MySpace, on High Five, on Facebook. It wasn't until my mom uploaded a photo of me when I was like 7. And that's the only photos that exist of me on Facebook. Literally photos that somebody else uploaded, my mom, of me as a kid. And that was for the benefit of her parents. So I just unfriended my mom, so that photo's not connected to me, and restricted Facebook from knowing that it's me. The only other time a photo of me was posted was actually one of your friends from college who just decided to just post a photo of me, even though
that's where she wants to like all the cool events of being with your friends and
that's
being
fine.
together.
That's fine. But that's why I stay out of the photos. I literally say, "Don't take a photo of me," and your friends go, "No,
because you're stupid."
No, it's not because I'm stupid.
Because people want to people want, and that's why I agree with you completely that social media is not the problem. Okay, fine. Finish what you're saying.
Well, now I want you to finish one of the 4 sentences you started and didn't finish. At least one of them.
Social media is not the problem. I actually think it's helping bring people together more than anything, because I get to follow my friends and I know what's going on in their life. And right now, like my friends that are back in Toronto that I haven't seen them, like I had a text back and forth. I was like, oh yeah, I saw your pics from your trip. How was it? How blah, blah, blah. Like it helps us actually stay connected. When I went to my high school reunion and I saw my friends from high school, it was really cool. Everybody caught up. We knew what was going on. We knew who was married. It actually helped us stay in touch. So and most of the time when people are communicating on social media, they're communicating with other real life people that they know in life. Like it's not like, except for us on Discord and
No, that's not true, because fine. I'll give you the fact that we don't know them in real life, but we know them enough to mostly. Like, I think everyone that watches or listens to this is in the Discord.
Yeah, I think they know us pretty well by now. Yeah,
and anyone else might actually be close family, because I don't think anybody actually watches us. I know we get like 30 views or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's getting to know us in a different way, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, when you're sharing, like, and like, I love, like, Instagram is honestly because I actually go back and look at the pictures. And so I remember, like, even when I've noticed that that like in the past few years, whenever I've been feeling like really bad, like depressed or bad or shitty about myself, I have the tool to like be like, okay, what are you talking about? Like, you went here, you did this. Look at, like, I'm like, oh my God, this summer was the worst. Just let me finish. Like, if I complain and be like, this summer was awful, I could go back to my Instagram and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You were in New York this summer. You did this thing. And then you have like tokens. You share. My friend, our friend, like, it was her birthday. I shared a picture from our trip to Vegas. It was something we did together, and it was a way for me to stay connected to her, even though like I wasn't in the same city as her. And like, I actually think that this whole hype against technology and social media making people isolated is completely like paranoia, conspiracy, paranoid culture.
But I would just like to start this off, or at least would have liked to have started that rant off with the fact that a large portion of your depression comes from looking at other people's social media feeds and feeling like you're missing out or you're not doing as much as other people.
Because I wasn't, but then I started doing things and I started taking pictures of it, and then I stopped feeling like that.
All right, there you go.
But that's called the fear of missing out, FOMO, and that's one of the things is that it's actually.
Wait, can we start the hashtag FOMO?
Hashtag FOMO is already a hashtag thing. You're not It's old. It's FOMO is the fear of missing out, and it's a new development that is happening within the millennial and younger generation, where they feel like because people are always posting like the good things that they do, you only see the good side of people's lives, and then you think that, oh my God, look at them, they're living the life. Like, you don't see their day-to-day struggles. So when you look at people on social media, you think you only see the best of them, and then you think that their lives are great and that you're missing out on something because you don't see their day-to-day like struggles. But even that is like, they have found that people who actively engage in social media. So they found like the differences in rates of like loneliness and depression among Facebook users. And they found that people who are passive Facebook users who like just read, but they don't engage, they don't talk to people, they don't share, they don't have friends, then those people are more likely to be depressed. Where the people who are like actually active, where they're communicating with people on Facebook instead of being passive and just watching, they don't have the same effects of. So it's how you use the tool, right? Like, if you're taking pictures of your ass on Instagram and your tits and your selfies and you're opening your account to strangers and like your whole goal is to be a social media star, that's fine. That's one thing. But if you have your account locked, you're making sure that the people who are coming and looking at your pictures are people that you know for the most part. And you're doing family pictures and friends and events and stuff like that. I think that like that's actually a healthy way to engage in social media, and it's a good way to actually, like, how often do people look at their photos anymore unless they're uploaded? When do you look at a photo album? Or when you used to take those, when digital cameras first came out, and we would take hundreds of photos and then they just sit in folders inside your computer. How often would we ever actually go look at them? But until you post something on Facebook or you post something,
since the question has been asked, once in a while, I still do. I stop and I go back and look at some of the photos I took with people, I do have many folders with photos that are not at all available anywhere online, that are my own private photos that I've taken while doing events. And I don't feel the need to share them with the rest of the world because I shared those memories with the people I was with.
But you're sharing them also with the people that you were with.
No.
That's what people are doing.
I don't do it through social media.
Right, but
If
when
people
you're doing...
ask me for the photos that we took while we went camping, to the beach, to whatever, to sit around and play, like I have a fuck ton of photos of us sitting around at the coffee shop at Tim Hortons, late hours. We have. I have a bunch of audio tracks of us recording songs in that parking lot. I have content video of at least 3 different songs we wrote.
Yeah, and if they were online, I would look
drafts,
at them more.
That's right, you would. But you know what? You know what happens when they're online? They mean less because they're no longer.
I think that's your interpretation.
No. Those are my memories. Those are my videos. Those are my photos. Those are me and my friends sitting at Tim Hortons and him playing the song that we wrote over the past couple of days in completion as a first go. Who's going to understand what transpired before and after that video? Nobody. They just see some crappy punk rock song being sang in a noisy parking lot. That means nothing to anybody. I already know people are going to complain about the shitty quality, about the shitty sound, about blah, 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 just over and over again. I already know people.
Right.
No. I'm not done. Each and every photo has a story behind it. Like there's that one photo of the 2 guys with the guitar hooked up to the roof of the Tim Hortons and them pointing to it. I know we're just being silly. I know I like whatever. We're just being silly. We're being goofy. I hooked the guitar up to just let it hang there, just so I don't have to hold it for a couple of minutes. And we're again that's my goofiness in my mind with my friends. Who else is going to understand what that's all about?
So an artist, you can say whether you draw for yourself or whether you draw for the rest of the world.
That's different. That's creation. This wasn't creation.
But it's also sharing your, like people
okay.
have this, like for me, I like to share and I like to not only share it with the people, like
that's right.
The same reason that I would write a story.
But that's not the same thing. That's literally not the same thing.
In a lot of ways though it is, because when I post my pictures on Instagram of like going to Disney World and then I see our friend Danny and he did the same thing.
I don't care about that. Do you know what's the one thing I do? The one thing I do. I don't ask people to pose for photos. I go and I snap the photo while no one's paying attention. It captures the moment. It doesn't let people pose and do a bunch of shit because the post says nothing. The post goes, hi, I noticed that there's a camera there, so I'll put on my cute face. Or, you know that face that everyone has that they put on whenever there's a camera around? I hate that face. No. That's the fakest face people have. That is literally the mask you wear in front of the world. I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is.
Rye.
Okay, fuck that book. Fuck everything that book stands for. The point is that's what happens. You point a camera at people and they put on the same face they have in every goddamn photo they've ever taken because they know what their good side is. Yeah. And they know what makes them look good.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
There is if it's my personal memory. If I want to capture a memory of us doing something, I want to snap the natural moment of it. I want to... I have 2... Most of the time, this is what happens. I take photos and the moment people notice I have a camera... Like, because let's say we're camping, and I snap a photo, and it goes off, the flash goes off, and I capture the moment. It might even look like a horrible fucking photo, because none of the lighting's right, everything's whatever, people are blurry, moving around, doing whatever. And then people go, no, I don't like that photo. You didn't do this, and you did that. Now, let us get together, let us group up, and fucking huddle together, we'll all put on their fucking photo face, and we'll all do a little pose, and blah, blah, and that's when I really don't care, because that's not what we're doing. That's literally not how we were existing. And we're going to stop existing that way for literally, we're going to exist that way for about a 3/4 of a fucking minute. The moment that photo gets taken, someone gets up away from the group, stops giving a shit about what we were talking about, stops giving a shit about what we're doing, come over and check the photo to make sure that they look good in the goddamn camera.
Okay, well, just because something's not valuable
it's fake.
to you...
It's fake. It's fake as shit. And fakery is completely useless to me. The camera was meant to capture a moment, not capture what the entire group fucking collectively decided to put on the plate for a fraction of a second.
Okay, well,
it's literally putting on a plate.
We live in a world where beauty matters.
The photos are for me. They're for me. They're not for social media. They're not...
For some of us, they are.
That's right. For some of you, they are. That's why when me and you go to your friend's house to go sit around a bonfire and take marshmallows and play with sparklers, I snap photos of you, and I'm really happy when you look fucking natural. You think it looks ugly and retarded, and you make me take like 17,000 other fucking photos, which I afterwards delete and just keep the photos of you looking natural with your goddamn sparkler eating your fucking marshmallow.
You're one of those naturalist people who think that like, oh,
She
girls
means
should
real.
wear makeup and I shouldn't. Okay, but like no.
Okay.
I like wearing makeup.
There was a story.
I like changing my hair.
No. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's
And
not about
I like
that.
posing for pictures.
I am not
and I like wearing nice outfits.
I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not a social media person. I am a real person. I'm not a pod person. I'm not an iPod person.
You should be if you want to be a YouTuber.
No. Okay. Literally look at
your fans are gonna want to know about.
Look at the setup. I'm literally not visible. People are so starved to know what I look like and what I do.
Because people want to connect to you. Do you not understand the fact that it's about human connection? You are your lone wolf, isolated self. You only care about your whatever, your memory. But I like to share that memory. And if I have a cool photo with people on the tops of coffee shops playing guitars, maybe there's some random person out there who also has a similar memory and is going to be like, hey, that's awesome.
Okay.
I did that with my friends. And we're going to feel totally connected. And then you don't feel so fucking alone in this universe.
Okay, so I'm just going to point out that anyone who wants to connect with me can and will and do and does.
On a one-on-one basis,
Yes,
though.
they just join the Discord and pop into voice whenever the fuck they want to talk to me. And they go, hey, are you available? And I go, yep.
Okay, that's like in the Discord world.
So
but
what?
Like,
the Discord's available to everyone at any given time. I am always on my Discord app. I am on my Discord app whenever I'm at home, and I have it when I'm at work. I can check it when I have my break at work, and I do check it. Anyone that wants to know what my thoughts are on something
fine.
can
That's
reach
your
me
tool.
at any given time. That is my favorite tool because A, people don't have to know what I look like. B, people don't need to know what I look like.
so you're not going to dox yourself.
I'll dox myself eventually. It's not even doxing myself.
Do you not see any value in why people want to know what you look like?
No,
there's
no,
like some human.
you
are not just like some consciousness in the universe. People like to see the visible you. And when you're following people on social media, like I'm not following fucking Britney Spears and like Lady Gaga. I'm following my friends. I'm following I follow some sort of funny apps, and like maybe I'll follow David Duchovny because he makes funny jokes and like I like his posts or whatever. But I'm following people.
She's not following David Duchovny because of his funny.
Because he's totally
posts.
cute and I'm in love with him.
That's right. That's right. He was amazing as Mulder in the X-Files, and he was awesome as Hank Moody in
Californication. Which is where I originally was introduced to him.
Yes.
But anyway,
which is a waste actually, because
like you're not following like random people you don't know. These people have context and meaning to you, and that's why you are following them, and that's why you like their fucking pictures.
Yes, I like their fucking pictures on my own private Instagram, not
So you
on
just
my.
want to be a private person. Some people are just not private. Okay.
No. I fundamentally disagree with everything you just said because I'm literally having this entire discussion on a public fucking access situation. I literally discuss most of my ideas, most of my life, most of the things that come by, the news and everything else with everyone publicly.
But what you look like and what you do your day-to-day life, you don't care.
Does it matter? Does it
yes.
matter? The question is, does it matter?
It does.
So it matters to you.
Yes.
Because you're sleeping with me.
Yes, and it matters to me. Like I'm saying, it matters. Like I enjoy people who do them. I follow them. I have my friends and people that I see maybe a couple times a year, and it allows me to stay connected to them.
Okay, most of the people I know personally don't fucking bother to go listen to this podcast. Why?
Because they're not interested in the same things that I'm interested in.
Literally, the people I spent most of my life knowing, talking to, expressing my ideas to, sharing memories with, don't bother watching the podcast.
Okay, not everything in life is about your thoughts and politics and ideas and beliefs and opinions.
It is in my life. In my life. I exist, and this is the thoughts and ideas that go through my head on an average basis. This might be edgy as fuck, and yeah, maybe I came up with this notion that I want to be a real person and not a pod person when I was like 16, and I finished reading Catcher in the Rye, and I thought it was a garbage book. And I decided from that point on that I will live my life as naturally and truthfully as possible. Because that motherfucker in that book was the fakest piece of shit that I've ever seen. And that irritated and frustrated me to no end, to the point where I don't remember reading the end of it. I know I finished the book at some point. I know I finished it. I remember reading the last page.
I don't even remember what happens in the end.
It doesn't matter. I don't either. I don't remember what happens in the end.
Nothing
I remember him bitching about certain aspects, and then the next scene of the book, he's doing those same things.
Yeah, that was
and I
what
thought
I liked
that was
about the book.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
Because it shows the internal struggle of the internal and external.
But look
self.
at the external and internal struggle you don't have to have.
But
It doesn't need to exist.
But the external self is also important, and the effect that you have on other people is also important, and there are important ways to connect to people.
Yes.
And so for me, that's like saying I'm just gonna be a piece of shit and be an asshole, but I'm gonna be truthful.
No. It's
and
no.
People just have to deal. We've had friends like that. We've had friends.
What happened
like
to those friends? What the fuck happened to those friends?
Exactly.
What happened to those friends?
They're not because they can't be phony.
Is that
because they can't
okay,
be?
now you're just talking over me for fun. They literally mean nothing at this point. And you know what? What's the one thing I don't do? What is the one thing I don't do? What is the one thing I'm known for? I'm sorry, I can't say known for because I obviously don't know what people think. But obviously, there's one thing I can be rude, I can be crude, I can be obnoxious, I can be retarded, I can be funny, I can be a lot of things. I'm a faceted human being with lots of fucking different outlets. But I'm never an asshole for the sake of being an asshole unless I'm just sticking around and I want to be. This isn't. I don't use me being real as an excuse to go around and tell people that they're fucking faggots and I don't like them, unless they're literally being faggots and I don't like them. Okay? There's no. You've seen it happen over and over again. I get introduced to people. I give them an opportunity to prove who they are. Let's use Commander Cody for an example. There you go. You get your fucking shout out. He came in. He wanted to be a shitlord. I let him be a shitlord, but I listened to his ideas and I argued with him. I didn't argue for real. I just introduced other counter notions and pointed out how some of the things he says doesn't make any sense. He thoroughly enjoyed himself because I let him troll. I let him express himself the way he wanted to, but I also took it seriously enough and made the conversation interesting. That's literally his whole shtick. He says retarded shit, hoping people will either get pissed off or upset. But if you take him seriously and lead it to its logical conclusion, he learned something from it. I may have done the same thing. Who knows? Maybe that's the way I did things. And he thoroughly enjoyed it. But what happened? He decided to go out of his way to introduce people that will fundamentally make the environment worse for the sake of a laugh. He is no longer a valuable member of our Discord, right? If he's willing to make everything worse for everybody for the sake of literally getting a small giggle out of it, he's literally not worth my time.
Okay.
So yes, I will be a dick to him because he has proven his status in my life. He showed who he is. Just like every one of those friends. There is no reason for me to kick them out of my life if they were being shitty to someone else. The hope is that they're not shitty to you. Once they start exhibiting the same shitty behavior that they exhibit towards other people, towards you, that's when you say, well, that means you do not value me as much as you claimed you didn't value those people. That is something we should all take into consideration. If you know people that do shitty things to other people and you wonder why, and they'll tell you most of the time, because I don't like him, because he's a faggot, because he's gay, because he's stupid, because he's retarded, because he's ugly, the excuses go on and on. But the moment those same behaviors start acting that way towards you, you can see that they don't have any respect for you whatsoever. They have no respect for you. How are you supposed to be friends with somebody who doesn't have any respect for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why those people acted the way they did and are no longer in our lives. That's the way you're supposed to act. That's the whole point of all of this.
But it's also when you can't behave accordingly to the group for the sake of the group.
What group?
This is I lost what I was going to say. I didn't interrupt, and so it's gone now.
The point was that I'm not a fake person. I don't like fake identities.
Then why
I don't like
would you
fake
hide
memories.
behind
In
something?
fact, my entire YouTube channel, this is what we're watching, is literally me at my most vulnerable, not being fake. I'm not. Look, I'm wearing sweats in a sweatshirt. Look, it's got paint on it from painting the house. That's what I'm sitting here in my sweats.
But I don't think putting on your best face is being I am no more real in my home clothes with fuzzy hair and no makeup than I am when I fix my hair and put on that's an expression of me too. It's another side of me. I don't think that's me being fake. I like those things. I like clothes. I like makeup. I like taking pictures.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, these are other sides
you like
of you
looking good.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
But I don't come from that field of that train of thought. I don't come from that field of identity.
Don't hate on people who do
I'm
have
not
that
hating.
interest. That's like
I wasn't hating on it.
Okay,
I'm
so
pointing
I'm
out.
just
I'm pointing
saying
out
that-
facts. But you're literally misrepresenting me with every statement. I don't hate these people. I don't interrupt.
But
I don't
it's not
inflict myself
being
on them.
fake. That's
In
like
fact,
saying-
I'm trying to exclude myself from their fakery because that will be a bad representation of me. I don't want to be included in random shitty posed photos, completely negating everything we were doing at the time.
I don't understand. When we were at a family event and everyone's like, okay, let's get together before we're about to eat. Let's all get together and take a photo of that's taking a moment in time where we're all together and like we're going to share a meal and it's just to remember it. Like,
Yes, and I participate in that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
Okay, so that's what most and people like to. We have family in Iran, for example, who like to see the photos of all of us together. They're interested. They want to know who you are. They're interested in who the person that I am living my life with is. So for them, it has meaning to see you in the pictures.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily about you. It's also about ways to connect to other people. So like when someone's into music, for example, and they post stuff about music or beer, they get to use social media as a tool and they are interested in who you are also as a person outside. Like as musicians do this as well. Like for example, there's musicians who try to hide their identity, like Daft Punk and the Gorillaz and whatever. And you know what I mean? Who don't make their idea,
Dead Mouse?
or whatever. I don't know.
The Gorillas never hit their identity. They just had cartoon characters. representing
Okay.
them.
But a lot of people are interested in who that person is as a musician. Some people aren't. Some people don't care. Others do. So what you'd be depriving a whole group of people. Like they want to get to know you because they connect to your music and they want to know, okay, what is your life like? What do you like to eat? How do you act? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just, they're forms of expression. It's still a form of expression. Now a narcissistic person.
This is my form of expression.
But your pictures and just the words that you say are not the only form of communication and expression in the world. Other things are. There are other ways to connect to people. I can connect to someone who is into the same music I like, and they can completely be against everything I believe in politically.
What kind of connection is that?
We have music as the connection. There's other ways to relate
and then
to
you
people.
can go to a concert together or listen to music together. But if you try to do anything other in life, other than that, it'll fail.
Okay, so that's what we have as a value of common goal, and that's what we'll share. Nobody is one thing.
But you can't build a relationship off of we like the same music.
Why not?
Because that doesn't do anything. That's not a connection. That's literally a point of interest.
What if you really like talking about it and you really enjoy the conversation? Have you listened to this song? Blah, blah, like, what if you really enjoy sharing music with someone?
Let's talk about that. Let's say you really enjoy sharing music with somebody, and you will go out and share music with somebody, but then your, let's say, political bias might restrict you from wanting to listen to certain music or not interpreting certain music the same way.
Okay, that might be some people, but a lot of people
might
are
be
not
some
like that.
people. But that might be other people as well. That might be
Okay.
no people. Some people might just like music for okay. I've spoken to people and asked them, why do you like certain music? I've asked them why they like certain music, why they like their genre, why they like this, why they like that. Most of the time, I get blank stares because people don't know. They don't bother to know why they like music. This is why it's even hard for me to talk to people about music. When people ask me, why do you like this band? I will go out and I'll give them a paragraph worth of explanations of why I like this band and why I think they're good.
Well, not everyone is as articulate and well-spoken.
Well, I'm
so
sorry I bother to think about what I do, what I like, and why I exist.
sometimes people are just into it, and that's what I was trying to get at before, where there's other forms of communication outside of just words. People can connect and communicate outside of just arguing and talking, and there's plenty of people in the world who don't give a shit about politics.
And this is why I stated earlier that pictures and social media are two very different things. I want to capture the moment I am living, not capture a moment for somebody else to interpret.
I want to capture a moment I'm living to share with other people.
I am not looking to create a form of art, put on a play for other people to get a snapshot.
It is
literally a play. It is literally a momentary play where people get together and pretend to have a certain emotion.
I don't think you're pretending. I'm happy to be at that cottage.
You can be happy.
I'm happy to be at that wedding, and I look good, and that makes me feel good, and I want to share that with other people.
That's totally not what I'm doing, though. That's not what I'm doing. I wasn't standing around hugging everybody and smiling when the photo was taken. I was sitting at my table, having a drink, conversing with one or two other people about the state of political blah, blah, blah at the moment. Or someone else was filling me in on their life. Now, if somebody bothers to ever walk up beside me and take a photo of me deeply discussing the political situation of the world, they'll get a much better photo than me standing beside somebody fake smiling. If you want to come and take a photo of me while I'm talking to somebody about their trials and tribulations of their own fucking life, and I'm sitting there listening and trying to be understanding, you'll get a much better picture than come up to me and be like, smile for the camera.
Well, I also like visually pleasing pictures, so those
you see,
pictures
this is why I'm telling you the very specific point. I am not trying to create art. I'm trying to create a moment. I'm trying to capture a moment. I'm not gonna put on 7 layers of fucking makeup, put on a specific type of fucking dress, just go stand in a specific type of lighting to get the specific type of smile on my face and look and fucking mask that I want to put on with me and my 7 other friends, just so we can have one goddamn photo for maybe one other person to hit like on Facebook with.
Because that's not something that you're into. You don't like makeup. You don't like clothes.
That's right. That's literally all right, which exactly proves my point. I don't.
But don't say people who are like those things are being phony just because they like.
Let's see if somebody goes back and like through this podcast and shows Siggy that I have never once said that I don't want to be phony. I just don't want that.
Okay, I guess I'm doing the hack, so you're saying.
Did I say? Yeah, exactly. Did I say I think those people are phony? I said I don't like these things. I don't do these things. These are not part of my personality. People can do whatever the fuck they want. I just know when I see my that's right. I just see when I see my friends fucking posting a million fucking photos on Facebook, all smiling and hugging in God knows what environments. I know they weren't smiling and hugging right before that picture was taken.
I think you're wrong, because when I was taking that photo in Orlando and when I was at my family thing, I was smiling and hugging. I was enjoying it.
You may have been smiling at one point. You may have been hugging at a different point. You may have been even enjoying yourself and having fun. But that photo literally maybe not that photo. There's other photos where they make you stop what you're doing, literally everything you're doing, to get up, to go stand in a group, to half hug in a half circle in front of a camera until you smile. And then,
that's usually when you're about to eat.
I don't care. The point is that you literally interrupted everything that was actually happening and any progressive conversation I was having or anything I was actually doing at the time, and decided it's more important for you to put on a fake fucking play for a fraction of a second so you can capture a fake memory.
I don't think that it's fake.
It's fake because it's literally not what I was doing. You're capturing.
You want to get everybody together.
You're literally capturing not what was happening.
But you can't, you can't. You don't want to post 100. You want to just have a photo with everyone together.
I would love for people to post photos. I like it best when people post photos of what's actually happening at a party. I've been to a party with like 70 people, and most people are off in their own little groups doing their own little things.
Okay, well, I just like to see one photo of everyone together.
That says nothing, though. That says people were there.
It says something to me. It doesn't say anything to you, and that's the only point that I'm trying to express. You don't find them valuable, but other people do.
Because when I go to a party, nobody stands around in one giant group and fucking smiles at each other.
Right, but you want to capture everybody that was at the party together.
It says nothing.
It does to me. It doesn't to you, but it does to other people.
It says nothing, because when I go to parties, I see that people bunch up into niche little groups with their own niche friends to do niche things. That's what happens. You show up to a party and everyone's in their own separate group drinking together, talking about things.
No, I go to parties and people have niche conversations and then they switch up and have conversations with different people.
Obviously, if you let me finish, I would have fucking gone on to the point where, yes, people do circulate and roam and circulate around and get to know other people. But for the most part, these niche groups exist. These groups exist, and they exist for a reason, because these people stick together and will always hang out together. That's why when I get a big group picture, I'm like, most of these people don't care about each other. They don't want to know each other. When you get to know people on a personal basis, you see that a lot of them don't like each other. They coexist for them. It's not negative. It's real. When I sit down and I talk to individual people during parties, I hear about all their drama. I hear about all their
And
fucking.
I like people, and I enjoy hearing
Great,
about the
great.
drama.
Now quote when I said I don't like people.
I like hearing
Quote
about
back
the
when I
drama.
said I don't like
I
people.
didn't say that you. I said
no,
I
that's
do
right.
like
So
people.
it's a point where you go, well, I like people. Well, I never said I don't like people. So I don't know what your point is. I'm just trying to point out the fact that people are are several faceted. They have all kinds of different personalities, and the personalities clash. As apparently I clash with a lot of other people's personalities. My personality is not to be fake. I try to be as real as possible, and I've always tried to be as real as possible.
And I don't think that you're being fair to consider posing for a picture as fake.
Fair is not a term that was used in this situation. Fake was. That is fake. It is literally getting up and you stop whatever you're doing and they completely interrupt whatever flow of conversation you had, whatever flow you were in, to stop and go pose for somebody because somebody wanted the goddamn photo.
Because other things are more important than the conversation.
Literally, people have taken photos of me. People I've never spoken to before have taken photos of me. And I wonder why. Why do these people need to take a photo of me when they never bothered to fucking speak to me? Why do I need to get together in
Maybe
the
they like what you look like.
Maybe they do. What the fuck does that mean to me? That literally means nothing to me.
Okay, to you.
That's right. To me, it means
Okay,
nothing. They can
okay.
like the way I look all they want.
Okay, I've acknowledged it doesn't mean, and all I'm saying is that it means something to some others.
Right. To
Okay.
someone else, it means something.
And it means it to me. So yeah, for me, whatever the
You're taking this very personally.
For conversations can always be had, but opportunities to get everybody together in a photo are not always common. So I think that it's valuable. For me, I like remembering. I like going back and looking at those pictures where everybody that was there at the party is together in one picture. It's valuable to me. The conversation is not always the most important thing ever. Discussion and discourse and arguments and conversing
That's not what I
is not
said.
the most.
That's literally not what I said.
I'm not saying that's what you said. This is what I'm saying.
When you're addressing a conversation between two people, you should be addressing what's happening in the conversation, not what's happening somewhere else.
I'm trying to. I'm not saying what you're saying. It's just what I'm saying. I've acknowledged what you've said, and I've agreed that to you, these certain, like, you don't find those photos valuable. For me, I do. I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm saying what I'm
fake.
Okay, I don't think that they're fake. I think that they're just ways to get everybody together and capture moments, and they still mean something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like reading a synopsis on it's watching the movie version of the book. If you want to go into the details.
It's taking a picture of a movie.
If you want to go into
in fact, the details of it are that you take a photo of the cast getting together at the end of a movie. That's what you do. You take a photo of like the entire cast standing around together.
And I like that. I like seeing all of the Game of Thrones character in a picture. It helps me remember each character.
Because you were there. You were there, right? Because when you go to a party and you take a photo, you remember the moments you had at that party.
With the different people that were there.
Does it mean to people who have not been at that party?
But you're also sharing with people who have been or people who know you. So for my family in Iran,
I already addressed. The
for
people
them,
who
it's
have
nice to see us together. I was also in the middle of a sentence.
So keep going.
I'm just saying, like, for example, with my family in Iran who are not there, they like seeing photos of us because they care about us and they care about me and they like seeing what's going on in my life. There could be value in those things.
Okay, they know that you were at a party.
And that they like to know about my life. They like to know about what's going on with me. And they enjoy seeing pictures of now that my cousins are here of us together and sharing things. And when I'm there, I look at their pictures. I like seeing my cousins' violin performances. I like seeing pictures of their birthday parties where everybody's together. I follow all of them and I like seeing their pictures.
Again,
and then when I talk to them
you're addressing a point I didn't make or some other point that literally isn't being discussed.
I don't think
that's literally not the fucking point of what I was saying. I'm literally saying I don't need 200 people on fucking Facebook seeing the fact that I was at a party at one point. I don't give a shit. I literally don't give a shit. People have no reason to fucking see that shit. I mean, I'm saying that I like what I like, and I don't do these things. Your entire point was that nobody even has albums. And my point was I do, because I capture moments, not fake moments. That's it.
You keep calling it fake moments, and I don't think that they are.
I will remember the fact that I was having a conversation and somebody called me back into the room to have a group photo and interrupted the conversation I was having that I was enjoying far more than the fake fucking moment they want to have during a fucking party.
Well, I think there's just a value in people
to share
the togetherness.
Literally that's not the point. The point is that I take photos that I look back on and remember the moments those photos were taken of. Not the fake moment where everyone got together to take one photo for everyone to remember who was there.
For me, when I'm following my cousins in Iran on Instagram and stuff like that, I enjoy seeing the pictures of them at the birthday parties with everyone's together. I like seeing that. I don't want to see endless pictures of like the conversations.
And that's
that I wasn't
exactly
part of.
why I said these are my private photos that I didn't upload to any social media because I didn't think anyone will give a shit. That's literally where this conversation started.
Okay, I agree that it's something that you don't find value in. I've acknowledged that. I'm just saying that there's people who do, and I'm one of them. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand. Then I agree. Like, it's just something you don't necessarily care about.
Yes, I also don't post it online. And yet I keep albums of people and memories that I keep. Because they're for me. They're not for other people. You want to take fake photos and fake memories for other people? You do that. Do get together in fucking things. And people might take interest in what something happened somewhere. You're shaking your head at me
Because
like I'm not understanding the point. I've understood the point several times over.
Okay, well, I just don't
that's just
think
not
it's
the point
fake.
that I was making.
Okay, you think they're fake. I don't think they're fake.
What would you call it? What would you call a mini performance in front of a camera?
I think it's just a way to get everybody who is there to capture the moment.
But it's the fake moment. It's a created moment for a split second in time before everyone breaks up and goes back to their groups. It goes back to the things that we're doing. It's completely fabricated from the beginning of its inception to the end of those 30 seconds of 3 photos being taken. It's literally everyone's like, stop what you're doing, stop what you were at. Like, how many times were we at a nightclub and someone's like, guys, stop having your drinks right now, we're gonna all go take photos over there. And then they hurry you away from whatever the fuck you were actually doing to get you into a group where everyone huddles together for a moment and smiles and acts fake for a moment.
I like those pictures. I like those huddled to moments
I understand
pictures.
that you like them.
Okay.
I just want you to understand what those moments are to me.
I have acknowledged it 100
Then stop
times.
calling them. Then stop saying they're not fake.
No, I don't think that they're fake. It's a way to capture everybody that was there out together that night. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to have individual one-on-one conversations with people, but I like to remember all of us together because we went out together. You can't talk to 50 people at once, but you can get them all in a picture.
Yeah, and then what?
And then I can remember, hey, those are everybody
Right.
that I saw
That's
that
the kind
night.
of crap you can upload to Facebook.
Yes,
But then
and I like doing
But then
it.
when I look back, I remember that like half the people in the photos have shit with the other half of the people in the
Okay,
photos and don't want to be anywhere near each other for the most part. Don't like talking to them. Are never gonna see each other outside of that party because I bother talking to people.
Okay. We're repeating ourselves.
That's
so
right.
At this
We
point,
are.
I've made my argument. You made yours. Let's leave it to the audience.
All right, audience. Do you participate in the act of photo taking in fake situations, or do you agree with me, or do you agree with Siggy? Well, which would you prefer? I don't know if there's a preference. I think the only point I was making is that I like to keep memories for myself, so
Okay,
I can
you
reminisce.
do that.
That's right. So I can reminisce about
Okay.
my experiences at the events that I was at, and they're not for other people on social
Some
media
people
to
like
share with.
sharing it with other people.
Yes, which is where we started off, right?
Okay.
With literally people oversharing or sharing parts that they don't need sharing or sharing for the sake of sharing.
Okay, so yeah, it's your personal preference.
Yes.
Okay.
Never said anything else.
Yeah,
than that.
neither did I. I was just expressing my personal preference just like you were. And my personal preference is to look at the picture with everybody together, not look at 50 pictures of people having random conversations that I wasn't a part of.
Well, maybe you should be part of them.
Sometimes I can't, but I like seeing pictures
Okay,
of
now
happy
I feel
people
like you're just
together.
really irritated that you're not part of the conversation.
No, what I'm irritated is that I acknowledged your personal preference, but my personal preference is fake and phony and superficial.
Have I not made my point clear?
Yeah.
Is it not fake?
No, I don't think it's fake.
Okay.
It's a fucking picture. You just want everybody together in the damn picture
Yes, like I said,
so that you
I
can remember
didn't
that we all
like
did
I said,
the thing.
I didn't participate in social media because I think social media is fake. It's a lot of fakery.
Okay.
It's a lot of
Showing the best side of yourself is not necessarily being fake.
because most of the time or 95% of the time when you see somebody, they're not showing their best.
But maybe that's the problem. People should be showing their best. And
Most of the people don't have a best. That's why it's fake. Most of the time, this is exactly what we were talking about.
Which goes back to the selfish, individualistic people who just want to be how they want to be.
Shit to a lot of other people. They just are. They just shit to other people. And eventually, once you get to know them enough, they become shit to you. And you wonder why, but you know why. You know, because they've told you why they're shit to other people. It's because they have no respect for other people. They don't care about other people. And they're entitled pieces of shit.
Well, I think people who are quote-unquote AQ fake are just people who are being...
What the fuck is AQ?
That's my new thing. Air quote, AQ. Just like as fuck is AF. It's new slang. I'm using new slang.
All right.
Okay. But like people who are fake are maybe sometimes just being cooperative and wanting to be a part and sharing in the shared memory with the group of others instead of focusing on what they were doing at that specific time that interrupted their moment.
The people are fake. Saying the memory is fake. The photo is fake. The photo is capturing a not real memory. It's not real.
The memory is that you were all there together in the same place.
But you weren't all together in the same place. Some people were in the living room. Some people were someone else. Some people didn't even talk all night.
Oh my god. Now you're just arguing semantics. You're like literally, like we all have to literally be talking constantly at once when you're in a room of 40 people.
Have you ever talked to everyone at the party?
Yeah, I actually have. I have one-on-one conversations with them,
everyone,
though.
with every single person in the room.
With most people that I know. And sometimes I meet new people. Sometimes I'm having a conversation with someone that I know. And then someone that I don't know is interested in our conversation. And then I meet somebody new. Sometimes sharing can be nice. Sometimes getting along with people and trying to be, cooperative. I'm just talking about being cooperative. Being a part,
yes.
Not only thinking about what is about you and how things affect you. It's about also being a part of something. And so when people want to take that group picture, it's about saying that we're sharing this moment all together. All together. Not your individual one-on-one moments. Okay, I'm done. And I have to pee. And you're done your beer.
Well, we still have a few minutes, but whatever.
If you want to keep going, we can.
Do you want to wrap up?
I think I wrapped up. That was.
You think you wrapped up? That wasn't great.
I raged. I ranted.
So to sum up.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Because I feel like your sum up is gonna just trigger me again.
it might actually just trigger her. I take photos, candid photos, for my own personal use, and I don't upload them to social media. I don't upload them to social media because I think most people don't give a flying fuck about what I would upload to social media, because most people don't care about what I care about. Specifically in this situation, nobody would give a fuck about me having candid photos of me talking to other people at the party, but those are the memories that I carry over. Most of the pictures, when I do take group photos, I have never spoken to most of the people in the photo and will not speak to most of the people in the photo, which means they've never spoken to me, which means they've never shared a moment with me.
You upload your opinions, you upload your thoughts.
Yes.
So you just value opinions and thoughts more than aesthetics.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I also value, what's it called? Functionality over aesthetics. Functional.
Well, that I guess that's the root of our conversation, because I think that there's the reason that aesthetics are aesthetics is that they ultimately do have some functionality.
You've pointed out like 6 times in this conversation that I'm the type of person that doesn't like when women wear makeup, because I find it as a fundamental lie. It's using this is the whole thing. This is the kind of things I don't like. These are the things that I don't like. There was like an article.
So then why do we bother wearing clothes? Why don't we just all like
functional?
Why are we all in
literally
fucking potato sacks?
Functionality.
Why doesn't everyone just wear the same thing?
Well, I was wearing the same thing, and then you told me to stop wearing the same thing all the time and bought me new clothes.
Like, why is
literally that's what you did?
Why is there like weddings? Like, why do people wear wedding dresses? Like, there's no value. There's no like purpose. There's no reason behind these things.
Wedding dresses?
Yeah. Why does everyone just wear a potato sack?
I don't know.
Sure, like,
why do we,
jeans and
I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know why
functional.
women dress up in all kinds of crazy ways for weddings when men just wear tuxedos.
Why do you like art?
Literally
movies,
tuxedos.
Music? Should every song be the same song?
Okay,
Why can't you
what
see
the
fashion?
fuck are you talking about now? What are you even talking about now? What do you mean, why do I like music? How does music fall into aesthetics?
Because
Music is not even the same format. Aesthetics literally mean
music
visually.
have aesthetics.
Literally, music means visually
Oh,
stimulate.
something sounds nice.
Visually,
something looks nice. It's the
visually,
senses.
literally visually.
Okay.
You can keep ignoring the words that I'm saying, but I'm literally going to keep pointing out that visually fucking pleasing is not the same thing as music. Because music that is nothing
It's
but
a different sense.
because music that is nothing but visually pleasing, I find to be retarded and avoid at all costs.
It's different.
Hence why I avoid Lady Gaga at all costs. I think her
It's a
music is
different
complete
sense.
garbage, and she only creates visual fucking aesthetics.
Her music is not garbage.
It's
She
complete
actually has
garbage.
Lots of great songs.
I will sit
I
down. I
enjoy
will
her
break
songs.
down every single one of her songs to point out how she put no effort into her
Okay.
music and more effort into her fashion sense than any.
You keep arguing your opinion as fact.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I know that she went to Juilliard, which means she's a real musician. And when I hear her songs, I go, "Where's the real musician?"
Okay, I enjoy her songs and like them. So just because you don't personally like something doesn't mean that other people don't. And
No,
that
but
they
it just
don't
means
find-
that I don't personally like them.
Okay, yes, you have made that very fucking
Yes,
clear.
that is. I
Yes.
am a human being, and I should be allowed to have an
You
opinion
have.
without
And you
consulting
need to make sure
the rest of.
everybody hears it.
That's-
Over
that's-
and over
That's
again.
literally what this is.
Uh-huh.
That's literally what we're doing.
Because you value your opinion over everything else.
I value my opinion, period, because my opinion isn't based on nothing, and
Okay, well,
most
I
of the
value
time,
my looks just as much as my
most of
opinion.
the time isn't fake.
I don't think your looks are as fake as your opinion. You can fake opinion. You can be a phony, fake opinion person too. There's ways to be a fake based on what you say.
Yes, there
It
is.
doesn't. Yeah. So there's ways to be fake no matter what the forum is. And just because music is fine, is auditory pleasure, where pictures and art. Visual pleasure. We like looking at things that are attractive. It's just fucking evolution.
Yes, it is.
So take it. That's my wrap up.
So take it. Spoken like a true feminist, guys.
No, don't finish my beer. Give me my beer back.
All right. So if you guys want to have a discussion about this some other time, we can do that. But no, that was it. That's it. I don't have anything. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. Whatever the fuck this was. And have a good night.